Hey, what's up, guys? Back for another deck profile here. Now, this is a very special deck profile. Bert, you have sunglasses on your head, not on your eyes. No, it's okay. Now, Bert is Bert's a very old friend of mine. He's played Water since the deck came out, and he just finally started fucking coming back and we got a lot of the older people coming back. Not the older people, but the older player base coming back. Yeah, the OGs from our locals and shit coming back and fucking doing it, dude. So much so that Grant Pan into this, dude. You see this fucking Gumby and this Cloister, dude? Me and Bert had these for 13 years or something. And if you guys actually go back on MCole40's channel, there's a video of ARG Columbus where I'm playing Dragon Draw Exodia against Robbie Cole, and I have these on my mat in 2012 or 2013 or some shit.
Got these from Origins.
Yeah, we got them from Origins, dude. And it's just such a... It's just Bert, dude. Bert's also just fresh off the regional, too, dude. Bert, I love you, dude. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, of course.
All right, can you go ahead and I'll move these over for you?
All right, so Mermail Atlantean.
Yeah. Explain whatever
didn't go as well as I'd wanted.
You still fucking doing it, though.
I did.
We played today, too.
Played 3 Rizio, 1 Malice, 1 Tempai, 1 Harpies. Some sort of food ritual deck I've never heard of.
Yeah, he played the
sushi ships.
Yep,
I thought it was
recipe.
The sushi.
Yeah. Oh, he's talking about the Hungry Burger deck, the Nouvelle
He's talking about the French burger.
Yeah, that's what it is with the pen scales too. Yeah.
F.
He did IGC scales.
Yeah, okay.
And then one other I can't remember.
But yeah.
But I took Malice and Rizios to game 3. The one Rizio player, he was pretty good. He played Fiendsmith Rise, 2-0'd me, but deck played pretty well. I only really bricked 2 hands out of all the ones, so we'll get into the profile, go over some things that I might change, or definitely will change.
He's been tweaking this deck for weeks, like
I have.
I'm proud of you for that.
Thanks, buddy.
Absolutely.
All right, so some staples, here. You're gonna play in Water. The best card, Nephtabis, and we got Dragoons. We got 1 Infantry, 2 Poseidra because my 3rd didn't come in the mail in time. And I went to the vendors and nobody was selling one. Not one, except for the QCR for $85.
That was just outlandishly overpriced, but beside the point.
And then outside of that, there is 3 Spirit. Some people are dropping this down to 1 if they're not playing the Coelacanth. I am playing the Coelacanth. But the Infantry is actually kind of debatable. With the Poseidra, the bounce to hand can be more effective than the destroy, but having your options is good. Yeah. So that's the Atlantean named cards. For Mermails, we got 3 Teus, 3 Pike for the Coelacanth, 3 Shadow Squad. People are dropping this to 1 without Coelacanth, which makes sense. You want more consistency, but the Coelacanth just allows you to bring out 3 of these. Watch out for Nib, by the way.
Yeah.
And then we're playing 2 Minstrel. Only 2. 1, you can play 1 if you want to. Sometimes you want the second one for the level 3 tuner option. And then the other Coelacanth target is Baby Croc.
Yeah, dude, I'm glad you found that. He texted me, he was like, do you have one of these? And I was like, I looked and I just don't.
I saw a guy on YouTube playing this. He plays the Waterlock deck. And this gets you free level... It depends on your opponent's hand, but you get free summons when this is on the field. So...
you enjoyed it today?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. For one-ofs, Moulin Glacier, Coelacanth, Rand, and Barrier Statue. Something that I would change going forward if I were to stay with the Barrier Statue lock is to get rid of this.
Yeah, which makes me so sad.
I know it makes you sad,
yeah,
but
go
there's
ahead.
a lot of times where you want to get to this through a card in the extra deck, and this being level 8 is really detrimental. Because used to, before, when you don't play this, you get Squad from Anemone, you make this a 7, so on and so forth. But to get this, you need to Synchron to 7, and then you use the 7 and the Coelacanth to go into Trite.
God, this is just legendary, dude.
So
that's wild.
These two are if you want to go one line or the other, that's great. But having them both at the same time, it's very, very detrimental. So if you don't want to play Waterlock, keep this. But if you play Waterlock, this should probably go. So
purchase.
As far as spell cards, I went with 1 Called By and 1 Triana.
His card's unreal, dude.
And 3 Droplet.
Yep.
Tell the people about Triana.
Yeah.
So Triana is an equips card. You get this off of, if you play Megalo, which RIP Megalo.
Yeah.
You play Megalo and Gund in the non-barrier. But Triana, it's equips card you get off of Mermail King, the Link monster. This allows you to Monster Reborn any Mermail or Atlantean in your graveyard. When it goes to the graveyard, you can banish it, target 3 water or 3 Atlantean Mermail monsters in your graveyard, shuffle them back. If this is in your grave and a water card goes to the grave, King can get this back to your hand, or he can re-equip it as a protection. So it's pretty good. Main deck the Call By just for this. Yeah, it does.
Yes.
Just for hand traps,
Yeah.
which there was a bunch of hand traps all day. And then the Droplet is good. I like the Droplet and the main. Like I said, there's a couple things will change moving forward, but that's for the spells. Hand trap wise, I probably played 3 more than I wanted to. I got 3 Perulia, 3 Ash, 3 Imperm, and 3 Impulse. With the 3 Droplet, I kind of consider this a hand trap. I shut off, that's who it was, the Dragon Link player. I shut off his not Sunny. I shut off his Heretic Seal and won game 2 with that. This, when I saw it, won me games. This, when I saw it, won me games. These 2 were questionable. I like having the ability to negate and the ability to stop draws, but I played 3 Rizio players, and this wasn't enough. They just played through it and played through it.
That's why I just hate. We don't like. I personally don't like hand traps.
It's
not enough.
It's rough. A lot of people are dropping these in this particular deck for the droplets, for the impulses, for the Perulias. Perulia obviously is a water. It's a level 4. You can bring this back off Anemone, and you can go into a Dweller. You can go into Kraken or a Bahamas Shark. So
yeah, if you had no charm, the other one, the wind one, you play it.
yes, yeah. Shout out to Giuseppe for letting me borrow.
I love Giuseppe.
And shout out to the Tats.
Yeah.
Ken let me borrow the Perulias, so shout out to them. That is the main deck.
Too.
45. I would not have played 45. I probably would have played 46 with a 1-for-1, but I ran out of sleeves. So,
dude, he came over to me because he didn't pre-reg. We all pre-reg.
I was rushing,
and he wrote his deck list, and we were like, he was like, hold my stuff, and I was just holding his stuff, and then we went over to a trash can because there was like no tables in the venue. They had struggled to find chairs. That was
we had to wait 30 minutes to finish.
Setting up. It was so fucking annoying. And then, but he was like, bro, I don't have another sleeve for 1-for-1. I was like, bro.
So the 1-for-1.
Play 1-for-1.
I pulled it out for the Baby Croc, which was okay. Baby Croc is great.
Mm-hmm. But you would play 1-for-1.
I would probably play 1-for-1. Yeah, if I were to redo this, I would unfortunately cut the Moulin. I would cut the Ash. I'd side the Ash, and I would probably side the Triana, because you don't need this going first. And probably the Called By. I keep the Called By.
Yeah.
But I would side out at least these 5, and that would put me down to 30, or 40. So the 3 Ash, the Triana, and the Moulin would put me down to 40. Which you could go 41, but you really honestly need the consistency in this deck. Now, if you're not playing statue, you can go 42, 45, because you have some wiggle room, but as close to 40 as possible is best. So, extra dip.
The extra dip.
The extra dip. All right, we got 2 Bahamut, 2 Toad. I've seen people cut this down to 1 each. Which can make sense. Some people play Prosperity in the main.
That's crazy to me.
They play a couple extra cards in the extra deck that you can banish off of Prosperity. But I like the 2 and 2. There's many a times today where I made 2 Sharks, 2 Toads. One guy opened up double Ultimate Slayer game 2, but what do you do?
Shit.
The 7s, 1
Card's unreal.
Atlantean Spirit, 1 Gaios, 1 Poseidra. These are all needed. Gaios is very good as a game extender. It's a walking skill drain for anything less than 2,800. While he has material level 5 and higher can't attack, that kind of shuts down like Tempai stuff. Trite allows you on summon to special summon any level 7 or lower Atlantean or Mermail from the grave. And then Poseidra is probably the best Atlantean extra deck. Overlay on top, detach 2, send 1 to grave as cost, and bounce 3 cards on the field.
Unreal.
Triple Compulse is great.
Yeah.
This is probably the MVP, getting the extra body on field. Whether it be, an extra level 4 for a second Toad, or a second Bahamut Shark, or a Dweller is just great. Speaking of, Dweller and Kraken as the level 4s.
Kraken's so insane.
Kraken is your in-time win option. It burns for half damage on any target on your opponent's field, and Dweller is really, really good in the mirror match. It's really good for like Fiendsmith.
Yeah, it's unreal right now.
Yeah, it's real good against a lot of decks. Kraken is kind of a questionable. You can, I'll go over a couple options.
Yeah.
As far as links, we have 1 Anemone, 1 Abysslacia, and 1 Neptivus Mermail King. You always go into this. And then this option is very, very good if you have multiple hand interruptions. So she allows you to quick effect on your opponent's turn, discard to add a Mermail monster from your deck to your hand. So you can discard an infantry, you can discard a prince. If you have a prince in hand, you get a free Poseidra, and then Poseidra activates on your opponent's turn to bounce a card. And then King causes non-targetable, so you put multiple Toads and monsters below him, and they got to deal with King before they can deal with the back one. So that's very, very good. As far as synchros, we have 1 Deep Sea Prima Donna, 1 Trish, and 1 Ching Yang. Trish is a flex spot. I never summoned it today. There was never really an option where I had room to Poseidra to the grave, discard, get 3 back to Trish, my opponent. So I didn't summon him at all. Ching...
Trigger all the Malice cards.
Right. Ching Yang, it's usually between this and Gamir. The level 10s.
Yeah, the Ice Barrier, dude.
It really
Shout
just
out Grant.
depends. I like this one. It causes a lot of your opponent has to play around this a lot.
Yeah, the card's on.
And then Prima Donna is the card you use to get out Barrier Statue. If you're able to get an opponent's monster banished or card banished, especially off Minstrel, it's a free Barrier Statue, so they can have their nib. It doesn't matter because they're not summoning it anyways. So that is the extra deck. Flex spots. If you're playing Waterlock, this is mandatory. This is any level 10.
Yeah, it's really good with Bestials right now, too.
It does.
Bestials their own
So
shit.
your flex spots really are these 2, if you want to. A lot of people are only playing the 2. Other options are the second level 10, the Gamir. So you have multiple level 10 options, depending on what you want. This can be the Virtue Dragon. A lot of people are citing the Virtue Stream.
Is that the trap?
It's the dragon that
looks
gets
like
the trap.
Levy and whatever the fuck.
A good thing about him is you can get to Lavirtue under Droll. So you seal a count, get 2, you go Bahamut, detach, get Lavirtue, get the trap, and then Lavirtue can detach from Bahamut to get a water monster back to your hand. Because it doesn't have to detach from itself. It can detach from any Xyz on water on the field. So those are a couple of flex options. That is the extra deck.
Yeah, look at Bert.
The extra dip?
Go ahead.
Go on to the side deck.
The side dip.
Side deck can definitely change. We have 3 Lancia, not changing Lancia.
Yeah.
3
I would've
Droll
said-
is questionable.
Droll's
3
good.
Book, 3 Xyz Encore, and 3 D-Barrier. Funny story. Sword Ryziel gets its special summon effect off of Xyz Encore.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that
You don't have thrust, right?
I do.
You do?
I have
Okay,
thrust.
yeah.
Like I said, this can change.
Yeah.
To be honest, I didn't get a chance to really put the deck together because I was
Yeah.
borrowing cards from our buddies, and
Yeah.
I wasn't sure what I was going to have before I did it, so I threw together what I had.
Yeah, I wish we had more time before the event too, because you were just like, "Hey, dude, talk to
and
me.
I forgot my phone, so I had to run
Yeah,
back to the
no,
car.
yeah.
I would not play these going forward. I would probably switch these for Ultimate Slayers because Ultimate Slayer is not once per turn, and that's really, really good.
Yeah.
These are standard.
Yeah.
Book of Eclipse I would probably keep, especially for the Tempai match.
Which actually people just play that deck still. Which
Yeah.
is kind of wild.
Played against one round.
Shout out
8.
Tesso.
Yeah. Shout out. Tessa,
D
dude.
Barrier I would
Love you,
absolutely
dude.
keep.
Played you today. Yeah.
So,
and you could just play one and like more thrusts or
I
whatever.
could play
but
thrusts,
Yeah,
yeah.
whatever the fuck. Yeah.
So that's the side.
Whatever the frick. Sorry, Bert's here.
Oh, you're
Excuse
good.
my language.
So that's the side deck. That is the Mermail Atlantean
Dude, and the
semi-good
Cloister, too, just-
regional.
Yeah, dude, the Cloister with the water deck, dude.
Yeah, bro.
We need to find that other footage when we were gonna start YouTube originally on your camcorder. Dude, we had a camcorder.
I got it
or whatever.
somewhere.
Yeah, and we did Cody's profile because we were all playing water. Devin too at one point. And also one thing that's super cool about this deck is all these cards. Like Bert doesn't have like max rare or anything, but all the stuff that's older he's just had since.
Since I picked it up.
Yeah, since it came out.
2014,
yeah, remember Mono
2014.
Mermail, dude? This Sphere F, like.
I still have a lot of my Mermail 4.
Yeah,
I
it's
need
just-
the new shit.
Yeah, it's just I just
I'm
fucking
telling you, man,
love
I'm
this
still
deck.
I'm still chefing up this ice barrier
Yeah.
Atlantean
Oh.
combo.
That's what brings me to my point. When I played against Water today. I don't remember if I mentioned that in my profile, but my opponent was shuffling his deck and flipped a card out when we were flipping it out, and it was the Mermail Eclipse spell. And I saw it, and I was like, oh, and I won the die roll, and then I opened 4 Bestials called by, going first, and went, set 1, your turn. And then he just went, and I was just like, scoop. I just love this deck. I might end up picking this deck up, because I was just like, it takes me back to a better time, and also I would just love to fucking
It's fun. I love
freaking-
playing this deck.
Yeah.
If I had a little bit more time, I'd make it a little more consistent. Like I said, out of all of the hands I played, I bricked twice. Yeah.
Which isn't.
So-
Yeah, 9-round regional,
No,
too.
9 round. It was,
So,
but yeah.
dude,
So that's the deck.
anything else you want to say about it, bro?
Just a shout out to my favorite peoples, Sonny, and
Bird.
the wife and kids,
Yeah.
Sarah,
Absolutely.
Easton,
Shout out
Henley.
Sarah. Yep.
Great
Love you
shout
guys.
outs. Great shout
Great
outs.
shout outs.
So-
Bert,
It was
love
good
you.
to see anybody.
Thanks, bro.
Appreciate it.
I know that people will love this, so we'll have to have you back on, of course.
Yeah.
You should already be at my house anyways all the time, but
I'll try. Maybe
Yeah.
bring another deck, do different profiles.
yeah, anything you want to do.
All right.
Bert's known for playing like wonky. He also is the house Madolce player. He plays Madolce a lot too. Before we went back to
Before
this.
new water.
Yeah,
Sport,
and also one last thing too. We were talking about this deck, and I was like, it's not really like people say it's water, right? But I always still refer to it as Mermail, because I was just like, man, like Deep Sea Diva's at 3, but it's not.
It's rough.
It is.
because
It's
I mean, I saw one guy who was playing an Amarouge.
yeah.
So you summon Diva, it gets ashed. You Amarouge it off, and you play Deep Sea Aria, and then you banish the Deep Sea, the Diva to get a search.
Yeah.
So there's ways around
That's
ash.
the closest thing that had to bonfire.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's just I don't know. But
Yeah, it's
Dude,
fun.
Bert,
I enjoy it.
dude,
I love you, buddy.
thanks, love you too, brother. Thanks
Good
for
seeing
coming
y'all.
on, dude. Cloister, gonna be F.
For the win.
Judge. I hope you guys enjoy this. I'll see you guys later. Cheers.